Hello, dear students. Welcome to the live classes organized by Rishiram Shikshan Sansthan, Joshada Uttarkasi. So today we will also continue our fifth chapter, Should Wizard Hit Mummy, which is written by John Updike. So far we have seen that it is very interesting as well as fascinating story, and the main character, Joe, she was much curious to know about the realities of life. So whenever Jack, her father, he uh, tell stories, narrate stories to his daughter, then very often she used to ask so many questions. So now quickly, today we will try to uh, wind up this lesson. Uh, in the last video, you have seen that as mother skunk, she was much worried when she observed that her son was smelling very differently. So she was upset, and immediately she decided to go back straight to the wizard, and as she wanted to again change her smell. But we have seen that as soon as she reached to the wizard, she approached to the wizard. Immediately, she hit him on the head with the umbrella she was carrying. Now, just you can imagine what is about to happen next. So, Joe, as we have seen, she is very much connected with this story. So now, very quickly, she will give her response. No, Joe said, and put her hand out to touch his lips. Yet, even in her agitation, didn't quite dare to stop the source of truth. But as Jack told Joe that the mother skunk, she hit the wizard on his head with the umbrella. She was just astonished because it was just unexpected. She didn't even imagine that this will be the climax or this will be the end of the story. So she was much surprised as she was not ready to accept such a turning point in the story. And again, very loudly she said no, and quickly she tried to put her hand on the lip of her father with intention to stop him. But her father had already spoken out all these words, and she was much surprised, shocked to hear all this reality. Inspiration came to her. Then the wizard hit on the head and did not change that little skunk back. But as now, as he was just unable to stop her father saying what had actually happened, so now all of a sudden an imagination came to her mind, a new thought came to her mind that now she just was just suggesting her father that what would have happened next. She said that in retaliation, definitely, the wizard too had hit mother on her head. So actually, she believed in tit for tat. So she expected that as mother skunk hit the wizard on his head, similarly, the wizard will also, in revenge, will try to hit the mother on her head. No, he said. The wizard said, "Okay," and Roger Skunk didn't smell of roses anymore. He smelled very bad again. But as this little girl, she was just suggesting, or she was in her own imagination. So she was just trying to change the climax, change the end of the story. But her father, he declined her suggestion and said that not such thing didn't happen. The wizard, he immediately accepted the mother's proposal and again changed the smell of Roger skunk to its awful smell. And again, this little skunk, Roger skunk, he started smelling very bad. Uh, but the other little Amum, oh Amum. So now, this little girl, she was very much upset, and now uh, she wanted to admit or say that now what would happen of other creatures of the woodland. Now again they will start humiliating, insulting the this little creature. So she started feeling very bad very sympathetic for this little creature. John, it's daddy's story. Shall daddy not tell you any more stories? Again, Jack he became irritated. He was annoyed by the act of his daughter, and he said again. He addressed her by telling her name, John. It's daddy's story. Means this story is created by me, so it will the end will be decided by me. So don't interrupt me and don't try to uh, suggest me about the new uh, end of the story. So he was a little bit annoyed and he said that if you continue such act, then I will, so far, then I will not be able to tell you any more stories. So it means that this story session will come to an end if you persist or continue such interruption. Her broad face looked at him through shifted light, astounded. And now, as we have seen, that lights, sun rays, they were coming inside through the shades, through the curtains, and now she was looking at her father, astounded, means surprising, because this time Jack he was just behaving unusual. He was peculiar in his act in his behavior. So this little girl, she was surprised at this unique behavior of her father, and she was just staring at her father. This is what happened. Then Roger Skunk and his mummy went home, and they heard the woo woo, and it was the choo choo train bringing Daddy Skunk home from Boston. And again, very strongly he said that this is what happened. Means this is the real story which I have already told you that Mother Skunk she hit the wizard on his head, and again the wizard very obediently he returned the original smell of the skunk. This is the real end of the story, and I am not going to change it, make any further amendment or any further change in the story. So this is final because I am narrating the story. This is my story, so don't interfere. And again, then he said that both the Roger skunk and the mother skunk they went back to home, and as soon as they reached home, they heard the whistle of the train, which was carrying back the father skunk back to the home. He was returning from Boston, and they had lima beans, celery, liver, mashed potatoes, and pie. Oh my, for dessert! And we have already discussed that how when the story is about to end, then finally Jack used to describe the supper what they have in their dinner at night. So here also he said that when all the family members they get together at the dining table, then they had lima beans, again celery, liver means fishes, mashed potato, and pie. Pie here means uh, something like spicy, something like samosas, and also dessert. Dessert means sweet food, sweet dish which generally have after having food. So it is believed that sweet food helps in proper digestion of the food. And when Roger Skunk was in bed, Mummy Skunk came up and hugged him and said he smelled like her little baby skunk again, and she loved him very much. And that is the end of the story. And again, as little skunk was very happy with his new smell, with the fragrance of roses, but now as uh, his mother had changed his smell again, and now he is smelling very bad. So this little skunk he was feeling little bad. But now when he was in the bed, mother skunk she deliberately went close to her son, and she was just trying to console him because he had lost his sweet smell. So now she embraced him uh, and started consoling him. And she said that now you are looking or you are smelling like the baby skunk, and it is your natural skunk. So now the mother skunk, she was much satisfied after getting back the original smell of her little son. And this is the end of the story. Now, finally, Jack has declared that now the story is over. And previously, we have seen how John C has uh, already decided that the story is about to end when Roger is skunk. He came back with that sweet smell of roses and played happily whole day with his friends. At that time, John realized that that was the end of the story. But now, officially, Jack declared that this is the proper end of the story. Uh, Then, but daddy, what? Then did the other little animals run away? Then again, as he was much curious, then she wanted to know that if Roger Skunk had lost his sweet smell and all his friends they were attracted by the sweet fragrance only. So now, how would the other animals, creatures of the woodland react to the Roger Skunk? No, because eventually they got used to the way he was and didn't mind it at all. Then Jack said that no, the other creatures of the animals now they did not discriminate the Roger skunk, did not humiliate him, and they became habituate. Means they got adapted to the bad smell of this Roger skunk, and soon they became friends again. Uh, what is eventuality in a little while. And now, as the father has said, eventually means gradually, slowly, all the friends they started accepting the natural bad smell of the Roger skunk. So, as this little girl was very young, so she was unable to pronounce the word eventually. And now Jack tried to tell the meaning of this word is in a little while. Means gradually, with the passage of time, all other animals they uh, started adapting to that new, that awful smell of the Roger skunk. That was a stupid moment. Again, just see how Joe was upset with that end of the story. Again, she is blaming Mother Skunk and said that really she was a very stupid mother. It was not, he said with rare emphasis, and believed from her expression that she realized he was defending his own mother to her or something as odd. So now, very strongly, Jack opposed his daughter and said that no, she was not a stupid mother. And now, little Joe, through the facial expression of her father, she realized that now it seems that her father he was not defending the mother skunk, but he was defending his own mother. So we have seen in the story how many times Jack is also connecting his childhood humiliation to the Roger Skunk. So it seems that now he is not telling the story of Roger Skunk, but somehow, directly or indirectly, he is trying to tell or narrate his own biography to his little daughter. So, by the facial expression of her father, this little girl realized that uh, her father he is trying to defend his own mother. Now I want you to put your big heavy head in the pillow and have a good nap, good long nap. He adjusted the set so not even a crack of this sort and tiptoed to the door in the pretense that she was already asleep. And now uh, as we have seen, Joe used to narrate these beautiful stories to his daughter so that she can feel asleep. But now, as he was continuously asking so many questions, so we have seen that she is not feeling sleepy, and again he is annoyed, and he again directed her to go to sleep, to put her heavy head on the pillow and try to feel herself comfortable so that she can feel sleepy. And again, he adjusted the shade, the curtain, so that not even a single ray of light would enter the room. He tried to make that room completely dark so that his daughter can sleep well. But And again he tiptoed. Tiptoed means he walked on his toe without making any noise, and he is just trying to go out of the room. But when he turned, she was crouching on the top of the cover and staring at him. But when Jack reached to the door, he turned back. Then he saw that again, instead of uh, sleeping under the cover, she was just sitting on the cover and she was just staring at her father. Uh, he got under the covers and fall asleep. Bobby's as asleep. She stood up and bounced gingerly on the springs. So now again, father he again directed her, instructed her to go to sleep, and he also said that her brother is already asleep, so she can imitate him, and she should also go to sleep. But again, she stood up, she bounced gingerly. Gingerly here means very careful way. So she very gingerly, very cautiously, very carefully, in a very careful way, she started bouncing on her bed because she again wanted to say something. She too wanted to express her agitation to her father. Daddy, again she addressed her father and she wanted to ask something. What? Tomorrow I want you to tell me the story that the wizard took the magic wand and hit that movie. Her plump arms chopped forcefully right over the head. Again, what she said, she demanded that father tomorrow. She is just requesting her father that tomorrow he should tell a new story in which now the wizard should hit the mother on her head, and now forcefully she is just raising her plump hands, means fatty hand over her head. She was just indicating over the head that this wizard he must take revenge of the act done by the mother skunk. So now again she is very determined, very obstinate, and wanted her father to narrate another story in which she wanted the story to have the end as she liked. Uh, no, that is not the story. The point is that the little skunk loved his mommy more than he loved all other little animals, and she knew what was wrong, right. Again, Roger skunk he tried to console, tried to convince his daughter that no, mother skunk was not wrong, and she whatever she did, it was the right act, and uh, the end of the story is right. Again, he was determined in the climax of the story, which he had already narrated to his daughter. And now she said that as mother skunk, she loved her son very much, and she knew it very well that what is right or what is wrong for her son. So the act of the mother skunk was not wrong according to the judge. No, tomorrow you shall. You say he hit that mommy. Do it. She kicked her legs up and down, up and sat down on the bed with a great heave and complained of his springs as she had done hundreds of times before, except that this time she did not laugh. And again, as he was just bouncing on the bed. So again she said, no, father, I want that tomorrow you must say that, yes, this wizard, he took revenge and hit the mother skunk on his head. So now, uh, this little girl, Jo, she wanted her father to change the climax, change the end of the story. But again, she was just complaining of the, and while doing so, what she was doing, she was expressing her anger by moving her legs and hands in the air. So very violently she is moving her hands and legs to show her agitation, to show her anger to her father, so that she can compel him and uh, compel him to end the story as she wanted. And again, she is complaining of the springs of the flexible mattresses on which she was bouncing. She did it many times, but uh, earlier times she used to laugh while complaining, but today she is very serious and she is now complaining about the mattresses on which she is bouncing. Say it, daddy. Again, she is uh, saying she is also forcibly compelling her father to uh, narrate. The next day, she wanted that her father should narrate the story as he demanded. Well, we will see. Now, at least have a rest. Stay on the bed. You are a good girl. So now, finally, he said that, well, I will see. Means I will try to make another story, but right now it is important for you to go to sleep, take rest, and don't disturb me anymore. And he also praised her that you are a good girl, so you must obey your father and go to bed and have a sleep. He closed the door and went downstairs. Claire had spread the newspaper and opened the paint can, and wearing an old shirt of his own top of her maternity smock, was strolling the chair rail with a dipped brush. So now, Jack he closed the door so as to prevent little young daughter to come out. And when he came out of the door and he went downstairs, what he saw? He saw that his wife Claire, as a little description of this. His wife is already given. She is pregnant with 6 months child, and now she is about to give deliver third child to the family. But what Jack observed, he saw that his wife Claire she was busy in moving those heavy furnitures, and she is just trying to paint all the old furnitures, and she has dipped uh, the brush in the paint and she is just brushing the furnitures of her own. Above him, footsteps vibrated and he called, John, shall I come up there and spank you? The footsteps hesitated. But now, as he was looking at her wife, observing what she was doing, uh, at the same time she could hear the vibrations of the footsteps. It means again, Joe, she was not sleeping. She is trying to come downstairs. So as he was walking, the sound made by her footsteps, the vibrations made by her footsteps, is realized by Jack, and again he shouted at her that should father is prank you. So as this little girl he heard the harsh words spoken by her father, so she became hesitated and she stopped, and again she returned back to her bed. Uh, that was a long story, Claire said. But this time, this Claire, she actually wanted the words spoken. That was a long story by Claire. She actually had made a satire on Jack, as he was unable to make his young daughter sleepy. And also, story session, it was too long as she was waiting anxiously for her husband so that he can help her in polishing or in brushing the uh, furnitures, but he was too late. So again, in as a satire, she used to call that it was a long story because he was too late in coming downstairs, and also Jack failed to make his daughter sleepy. So the outcome of the story seems to be futile, useless. So he was not able to make his daughter sleepy, and this is the reason why his wife Claire he made this comment. The poor kid, he answered, and with utter weariness was his wife labor. So now he wanted to give reason that why he was too late. Then he said that poor kid means our poor daughter, John. She was not feeling sleepy and she was much disturbed with the climax with the end of the story. And now she don't want to sleep. She again wanted uh, me to change the story. All these things he wanted to narrate to his wife, the reason for being late, but as he was much tired, so with utter weariness was his wife labor. So he weariness here means again tired. He was weariness means tired. He was utter means completely tired the of narrating story to his daughter, and now he found it difficult to help his wife, and now he simply was his wife doing labor. Labor means though she was 6 months pregnant, but still she was doing a lot of effort, lot of hard work in shifting those heavy furnitures, and also she was busy, continuously busy in polishing and dressing the furnitures. So he simply stood on those stairs and he is watching his wife Claire doing hard work. The woodwork, a case of moldings and rails and baseboards all around them was half old tin and half new ivory, and he felt caught in an ugly middle position. So what he saw that the furniture, which at that moment his wife was polishing, it was half tan and half ivory. Ivory, as we have seen, the tusk of the elephants, which is generally white in color. So ivory here represents the white color, and tan means yellow. So here these words are used as symbols symbolically. So yellow represents tarnishing, old and decay, and ivory here means white new. So as Jack was observing his wife polishing, then what he observed, half of the furnitures they are painted new with the every white color, white paint, and half of the furniture is just still to be polished, to be brushed, which is still yellow. So the same furniture is divided into two parts. One is looking very new because it is painted, and the other part it is looking still old. So this stain and ivory represents here the condition of the furnitures. And again, here Jack he found himself torn into uh, an ugly middle position. This is important. He found himself in ugly middle position. So now he found himself helpless. As we have seen, he wanted to help his daughter, his wife, in brushing the furnitures. But now we have seen that he is already much tired. So now he don't want to do anything. So now he find himself helpless and unable to help his wife. And again, now as we have seen that he is not happy in his own life, because we have seen that how when Joe, she gave false expression uh, in the story. Then again, Jack became annoyed and he compared that uh, unreal smile of his daughter to the smile of his wife when she fanning the smile of his wife when she used to uh, give such smile at the cocktail parties. So many times this narrator he tried to express that he is not happy in his life, and now he found here himself torn into two different worlds. One is the world upstairs where uh, he had his daughter, uh, Joe and Bobby, who were sleeping, and where he has spent most of his part of his life in narrating stories. So upstairs, there in that world, he had his daughter and son, and downstairs is the world where he find his wife. Now he wanted to help his wife, but as he was busy in narrating the story, he was unable to uh, make his daughter sleepy. So now he failed to shoulder upon his responsibility. So now we have seen, now he failed to be a good father and also to be a good husband. Means now he is unable to make a balance in his life. And now many times we have seen how he is scolding his daughter as he was raising so many questions, and he was unable to satisfy her curiosity. And here also we have seen that his wife, she is in urgent need of his help, but still he is finding himself tired and helpless, and now he is not able to give her any help. So now he found himself in ugly middle position, and it happens also because when he came down the stairs, he saw that uh, his wife, she has already started brushing the furnitures, and uh, he felt bad because he realized that his wife, she didn't wait for his support. She has already started uh, polishing the furnitures, and also the shirt which she was wearing over her maternity cloak. So now again, Jack realized that by wearing his shirt, uh, his wife, she just wanted to dominate the family. It seems that the power of attorney seems to be shifted from male dominance to the female. So all these things made him disturbed and irritated, and already we have seen how he was annoyed by the frequent questioning of his uh, daughter, and taking care of the child itself is very fatiguing, very tiring work, and so responsibility of taking care of the children is given to Jack. So these were the different uh, reasons why he feel himself in ugly middle positions, and simultaneously he is just remembering his childhood humiliation, and all these things collectively uh, throw him in very ugly middle position where he found himself helpless, and now he don't want to do anything. And the thought as he felt his wife's presence in the cage with him and didn't want to speak with her, work with her, touch her, anything. And now, finally, Jack decided that as he was much tired, so he don't want to help her, his wife anymore. He don't want to go near to her or to talk to her, as his body uh, is not supporting him. Because of much uh, busy with that long story, he now felt himself helpless, and now he don't want to do anything. He is simply observing his wife doing hard work. So now, and finally, he decided that he will not do anything. He will not go near to his wife. He will not touch her or help her, or he will offer his helping hand to his wife. So finally, he decided that he will not do anything, and also he find himself caged with his wife. It seems that here the narrator has tried to express that he is not happy in his married life. He find himself perplexed, confused, and this he realized that he is unable to uh, perform the responsibility of a father as well as a husband. So in his life, he seems to be unsatisfied. So this is all about the story session of Jack, and also Should Wizard Hit Mummy. The lesson itself is in the form of question, and now we can say that this question or this statement was met by the Joe, the little girl, and even at the end, up to the end, this little girl, she insists that her father must change the end of the story, or he must tell another story with such kind of ending. So she was much determined, so stubborn or obstinate, and many times she compelled her father to narrate another story with such kind of end. But now, her father, he tried to convince her that no, this is not the reality of life. As a child, as she was growing, she must know the realities of the life, because life is not the bed of roses. So there, throughout the life, we have to face many ups and downs, and we must be prepared all uh, the all the hindrances, all the obstacles which we face while traveling in the journey of life. So this is all what Jack wanted to tell his daughter, and he also strongly supported Mother Skunk, because according to him, mother cannot be wrong. All the mothers, they take care of their children very much, and all the mothers, they knew that what is wrong and what is right for their children. So decision taken by the mother for his little skunk was right, because mother skunk, she don't want her child to lose his identity. So smelling foul is the natural is natural to Rogers, as it was given by the nature itself. So here, many times human beings, they try to challenge the destiny, and sometimes try to challenge the creation of God itself. So their foul smell is given by the nature. So we must not try to interfere in the work of the nature. So we must try to accept the realities of life, and we must not try to change ourselves for pleasing others. This is the most strong message conveyed by John Updike through this wonderful and fascinating story, Should Wizard Hit Mummy? So this is all about for today's lecture, and now this lesson is over, and I hope that all of you have uh, watched all the videos and must have learnt something, or the message conveyed by the narrator. So that's all for today. Take care of yourself. Have a good day.